There are two people I want you to think about. The first one earns $180,000 a year. Nice car, nice apartment, nice clothes, nice holidays. The kind of life that looks, from the outside, like they have completely figured out money. The second one earns $72,000 a year. Modest car, regular apartment, unremarkable wardrobe, quiet weekends. At 55, the first person still has to work. Not because they want to, because they have to. Because the lifestyle costs $180,000 a year to maintain, and the moment the income stops, everything stops with it. The second person retired at 52, not because they won anything, not because they inherited anything, because they understood one distinction that the first person never did: the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And once you see that difference, you cannot unsee it. And it changes every financial decision you make from this point forward. Let me tell you about James. James is 36. He has worked hard his entire adult life. He earns $110,000 a year, a salary he is genuinely proud of. He drives a leased BMW. He has a beautiful condo in the city. He travels twice a year. He wears good clothes. He eats at good restaurants. He looks rich. His friends think he is rich. He thinks he is rich. But here is what James's actual financial picture looks like. His take-home pay after tax is approximately $6,800 a month. His lease payment is $780. His condo mortgage and fees combined are $3,100. His lifestyle spending, food, entertainment, travel savings, clothing, is approximately $2,200. His loan on the renovation he did last year is $400. Total outgoing every month, approximately $6,480. Amount left for investments, approximately $320. At 36, James has approximately $28,000 in a TFSA and $14,000 in an RRSP. He earns over $100,000 a year. He has $42,000 in net investable assets. James is rich in the way that matters least. He has a high income. He does not have wealth. And the distinction, which nobody explained to James when he was building this life, is the reason a $110,000 salary has not built him anything that works without him. Here is why being rich and being wealthy are so easy to confuse, and why confusing them is so expensive over time. Being rich is about income. It is about the rate at which money flows in. Being wealthy is about assets. It is about what you own that generates value, independent of whether you show up to work tomorrow. The confusion happens because income and wealth often travel together. People who are wealthy often have high incomes, and people with high incomes often look wealthy. But the connection between the two is not automatic. Income without assets is like a river without a reservoir. The water keeps flowing as long as the source keeps running. The moment the source pauses, the river dries up. There is nothing stored, nothing to draw from, nothing that runs on its own. Wealth is the reservoir. You fill it from the river. Over time, it gets deep enough that it can feed the river back, that the reservoir itself generates flow even when the original source slows down or stops. James has an excellent river. He has almost no reservoir. His $110,000 salary is entirely dependent on James, his time, his health, his continued employment, his specific job existing next year. The day that stops, everything stops with it. That is not freedom. That is a high-income dependency. Let me show you what the confusion between rich and wealthy actually costs over time. James is 36. He earns $110,000. He invests approximately $320 per month. At 8% average annual return, in 30 years at 66, James's portfolio is worth approximately $476,000. Not nothing, but not the number a $110,000 a year earner who invested consistently should have. Now here is the comparison. His colleague, same age, earns $72,000, invests $1,500 per month consistently in a TFSA and RRSP because her lifestyle costs significantly less than her income. At 8% average annual return over 30 years, her portfolio is worth approximately $2,240,000. She earns $38,000 less per year than James. She retires with $1,764,000 more. Not because she earned more, because she built a reservoir instead of performing a river. The income gap between them, which anyone looking at their lives from the outside would assume translated to a wealth gap in James's favor, actually produced the opposite outcome. Because income is not wealth. Income that builds assets is wealth. Income that funds a lifestyle is consumption. And consumption, however beautiful it looks, does not compound. Here is the reframe that changes everything. Stop asking how much you earn. Start asking how long you could live at your current standard if your income stopped tomorrow. That question, answered honestly, tells you whether you are rich or wealthy. If the answer is less than 1 year, you are income dependent. You are rich in the way that requires your continued participation to maintain itself. If the answer is 5 years, you have built something meaningful, a reservoir with real depth. If the answer is forever, your assets generate enough income to sustain your lifestyle indefinitely without you. That is wealth. That is financial freedom. That is the reservoir feeding the river rather than the river filling nothing. This is sometimes called the freedom number, the point at which your invested assets generate enough in annual returns to cover your annual expenses. Some people call it financial independence. Whatever you call it, it is the destination that rich and wealthy are both theoretically heading toward. The difference is that rich arrives there only if the income never stops. Wealthy arrives there even if it does. Here is how to shift from building income to building wealth. Practically, starting this month. The first step is calculating your actual wealth number. Not your salary, not your income, your net worth. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Write it down. Update it quarterly. This is the number that tells you where you actually are, not the salary figure or the lifestyle level. The second step is calculating your freedom number. Multiply your annual expenses by 25. That is the amount of invested assets that, at a 4% annual withdrawal rate, which is a widely used long-term sustainability benchmark, could fund your lifestyle indefinitely. This is the target. Knowing the target changes how you think about every financial decision between now and when you reach it. The third step is calculating your monthly investment gap. Take your monthly take-home income. Subtract your essential fixed costs. The remainder is your discretionary allocation. Right now, what percentage of that goes to lifestyle versus assets? Be honest. The gap between those two numbers is the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The fourth step is identifying one lifestyle cost that funds lifestyle without building anything, and redirecting part of it toward your investment account. Not all of it. Not a dramatic overhaul. One meaningful redirection that shifts the ratio between consumption and asset building. For James, if he moved to a less expensive vehicle at lease end and redirected $500 per month to his TFSA, his 30-year portfolio outcome improves by approximately $750,000. One decision, one line item, $750,000 in long-term difference. The fifth step is automating the wealth building side before the lifestyle side sees the money. This is the principle covered in the salary script. Pay the reservoir first. The moment income arrives, a fixed amount moves to the investment account before the lifestyle can absorb it. What the lifestyle never sees, the lifestyle never misses. In Canada, automate a TFSA contribution on payday, then RRSP if applicable, then everything else. The wealth side gets funded first. The lifestyle works with what remains. Here is the mindset shift that separates the people who retire early from the people who keep working when they do not want to. Rich is a performance. Wealthy is a position. Rich says, look at what I have achieved. Look at what I can afford. Look at the life I have built. Wealthy says, look at what would happen to my life if I stopped working tomorrow. Rich is visible. Wealthy is often invisible. The wealthiest people most of us will ever meet do not look wealthy. They look comfortable. They look unbothered. They do not lease the most expensive car. They do not live in the most expensive neighborhood. They do not perform financial success. They do not need to. Their assets perform for them. The person driving the expensive car might have $40,000 in total investable assets. The person driving the sensible car might have $900,000 in a TFSA that nobody can see and nobody knows about. One of them is performing wealth. One of them has it. Decide which one you are building toward. James is still 36. He has time. He does not need to sell the condo or give up everything that makes his life good. He needs to shift the ratio, more to the reservoir, less to the river performance. His colleague does not judge him. She just keeps automating her contributions and watching the number grow quietly in the background. At 52, she will stop working because she chose to. James will stop working when he has to. Unless he makes different decisions between now and then, the window is still open for you too. Calculate your net worth this week. Calculate your freedom number. Find the one-line item that funds the lifestyle at the expense of the reservoir, and redirect part of it. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just enough to start filling something that compounds while you sleep. Because Rich says, look at what I have. Wealthy says, watch what it does without me. Build the second one. Drop a comment and tell me, when you are honest with yourself, which are you building right now, rich or wealthy? Income performance or asset accumulation? Tell me where you are and where you want to be. I read every comment. If you know someone who earns well but somehow never builds anything lasting, share this video. The distinction between rich and wealthy is the conversation that changes the strategy. Subscribe to Nuella Invests. Every week, we build the financial understanding that turns good income into real freedom. See you in the next one.